Once upon a time, in the landscape of Amafo and Ede, two villages coexisted with distinct characteristics. Amafo, blessed with fertile soil, flourished with abundant crops, and its people were known not only for their agricultural prowess, but also for their formidable warriors. In contrast, Ede grappled with less fertile land, facing the challenges of cultivation while harboring envy for the prosperity of their neighbors. As seasons passed, discontent brewed among the villagers of Ede. Frustrated by their agricultural limitation, a faction within Ede sought to seize the fertile land of Amafo, which lay close to Ede. Fueled by desperation, the leaders of Ede gathered to plan the best way to take over Amafo land and resources. Considering using their warriors through war, they remembered Amafo are not only blessed with fertile land, but also very strong warriors that defends their community really good. After a series of brainstorming, came up with the idea of using a witch to distract and eliminate the people of Amafo and take over their land. To accomplish this, they invoked a witch to the central paths leading to their various farmland and the only stream they had. This stream serves as a boundary between Amafo and Ede communities. A very beautiful lady out of nowhere appeared in Amafo land, singing with her melodious voice and dancing tirelessly. Her sweet voice and beauty were irresistible. Her dancing steps were so enticing that people who set their eyes on her and hear her voice forget their direction but stay till death. This goddess sings and dances at the central path leading to the people's farmland and to the stream, getting easy access to the indigenous members of Amafo, because everyone entering or leaving the village must pass through this path. The people of Amafo gradually begin to assemble at this point. Carried away by the winch dance and voice, they forgot to eat, drink, or even go home. Listening to the witch voice, they died gradually, day by day. This caused fear and panic among the people of Amafo. Those in the village are dying of hunger and thirsty as they are afraid of going to the farm or stream. No one wants to die while listening to the witch. Some of the villagers, despite covering their face in order not to see the witch, all got attracted to and died watching and listening to the witch. The king of Amafo sent some of their warriors, but none of them returned. This got the people more scared and worried. Among the people of Amafo lived a little orphan, Okechukwu, who lives with his blind grandmother. As usual, Okechukwu has gone to hunt with his catapults. Wandering through the bush, he overheard two men discussing about a witch that attracts and kills people who listens to her voice. From their discussion, Okechukwu discovered that the witch attracts and kills only people who hears her voice. Thinking of what to do to save his people, and since the witch can only trap those who hear her voice, he looked for ways to block his hearing so as to go to the scene, observe, and be able to come back safely without losing consciousness. Getting home, he wrapped some objects around his head, covering his ears, and then asked his grandmother to sing for him. Checking if he could not hear her voice, he tried out many ways to block his hearing, but none seemed to be working. He went to the native doctor in their community, asking of what to do so as not to hear a loud voice singing. The native doctor advised him the only way is to go deaf. He said he can make him go deaf, but the only problem is that it can't be reversed. You will be deaf forever, the native doctor said. In his heart, he said, I better go deaf, but save my community. He told him to make him deaf. Then the native doctor did as he requested. Getting home, he asked his grandmother to sing for him. She did, but he couldn't hear anything. Little did he know that he won't be able to attend to his grandmother's need, as he can't hear her call anymore. He stayed all day planning on how to go and observe what is happening in the central parts of their land, where people are dying. He wondered why his grandmother has not called his attention since morning. Meeting his grandma crying, he realized the consequences of what he has done. Thinking of what to do, he instructed his grandma to stop calling him so as not to reveal their hidden place. He lied that their community was under attack and they would be killed if the attackers noticed their presence. He taught her some signs to use and describe her needs. He told her that he will always be around to attend to her. In the night, after putting his grandmother to bed, he left for the place where their people were dying. On getting to the place, he saw many dead bodies and those still watching the beautiful lady dancing, but he can't hear her voice. He hid at a corner watching, while thinking of what to do to save his people. While watching the scene, at around 3 a.m., he saw two able-bodied men coming in with a calabash and blood dropping from the calabash. He watched them drop it for the witch. Seeing this, he quickly ran to the roots they had come from and hid. He realized they are men of Ede, but how? Why are they feeding the witch? They are talking, but he can't hear what they were saying. The next day, these men came again, same time, carrying same thing. Then he followed them secretly. At some point on their way, they stopped and started hunting for an antelope. He watched them rejoice as they killed one and hid it in a cage under a big tree. Same time the next morning, he climbed on top of a tree beside the road so as to see what is in the calabash they used to drop for the witch, and it was heart of an antelope. He also noticed they drink from their stream each time they passed. He went back to where they had hidden the antelope and saw nothing. The following day, he observed them repeat the same cycle of movement. So, the next morning, after attending to his grandmother, he ran into the bush and began hunting. With his catapult, he killed a monkey and harvested the heart. He waited patiently for the men of Ede to pass as usual the next morning. He poisoned the stream with some sleeping potion and hid at a corner to observe. The men of Ede, after drinking the water, went into a deep sleep. Then he interchanged heart of the antelope with that of a monkey. When the soldiers from Ede woke up, they realized they were late. Hurrying, they took the calabash without checking. They offered it to the witch as usual and left. The witch ate the monkey's heart and felt betrayed. Angrily, she went after them, devoured them on the way, and then made her way into Ede community. The people of Ede breached their agreement with the witch, and the consequences is that they will pay with their lives. It went ahead killing every soul from Ede. Hours later, people of Omafo initially trapped by the witch, returned to the community. The land of Amafo was filled with joy. Back to Ede community. Since the witch feeders were dead and there is no one to give account of what happened, they consulted their chief priest and he explained what went wrong. He said, someone from Amafo, not clearly revealed, noticed what was happening and exchanged the heart of the antelope made for the witch with that of a monkey. This made the witch feel betrayed and come after us. Some years after the witch attack, the land of Amafo reduced drastically in their productivity. They work hard but still has no food. Seeking for reasons and solutions, the wise man of their community gave them the message saying, the land of Amafo was saved by a poor little boy. Unless he is rewarded appropriately, the land remains infertile, said the gods. Shocked and surprised hearing this, the king said, tell us the person, let me reward him immediately. I don't know the person, but I suggest you make an announcement for the person to reveal himself. The king did as the wise man has directed, stating the rewards that await the person. Okechukwu saw the town crier making the announcement, but did not hear what he announced, so he continued with his life journey. The next day, the king's palace was filled with people of the age bracket the king stated in the announcement, each claiming to be the savior of the people. The king got confused. The wise man said a little boy between the age of 10 and 13 saved the land of Amafo, not all the community boys within the age brackets. How do I know the right person? The boys started pointing accusing fingers on one another, saying the other is lying. The king became furious and threatened to kill anyone who lies to him. Yet, they all insisted on their words. Emenike happened to be the only friend Okechukwu got. He was a truthful child and hates lies. His mother convinced him to claim the savior, but he refused to lie. This made his mother to send him out of their house. He ran to Okechukwu place, greeted him, but he didn't respond. I know you are talking to me, but I can't hear you. I have something to tell you. You know I can always trust you, Okechukwu said to Emenike. He explained everything to him and how he lost his hearing ability. Emenike told him that people are in the palace trying to claim his glory. Then he remembered he can't hear him. He looked for a way to tell him what was going on, but he can't hear him. Nobody is going to believe me, especially now that he can't hear. The king invited the wise man to make the children speak truth, but the wise man assured him that only the right person can tell correctly where the witch came from and how he sent the witch away. And anyone who tells lies shall fall instantly, but the person that says the truth will remain standing after speaking. They told their stories, and all of them fell down. This made Emenike's mother to look for him. She told him that the cause made this position for him because he tells the truth, but he refused to claim the savior. He went to Okechukwu's place to observe how he communicates with his grandma. He noticed his grandma speaks to him using signs. He told grandma all that had happened and asked her to find a way to ask Okechukwu to explain what happened to his hearing ability. She said she would. Then Emenike took her to the palace. He told the king that her grandson Okechukwu is the one that saved Amafo from the hands of the witch. They said it's a lie. They threatened to kill them all. if they were lying. Then he ran to get Okechukwu. He found him looking for his grandma all over the place. He signaled him to follow him, so he did, holding his catapult. On getting to the palace, Emenike told them that Okechukwu lost his hearing ability to save his people. He told Grandma to give the signals to Okechukwu whenever he instructs her to do so. He told her to signal him to stand on the Ekwiye. She did, and immediately Okechukwu stood on it, he regained his hearing. He answered every question and remained standing. Emenike was so happy. Everyone were celebrating. The king gave them a very beautiful house, employed people to be taking care of them, and also gave them some farmlands with plenty crops in them. Meanwhile, some people from Ede, because of the witch attack, had run to Amafo community for safety, and their king accepted them. After Okechukwu explained what happened, the king got angry and sent all of them away from their community. He banned them from coming into their community or having affairs with any indigenous member of Amafo village. People still think Okechukwu was still deaf. Then, Emenike's mother told him to claim everything since his grandmother can't see and he can't hear. Only you has the complete information. You can take everything away from them. But he refused, saying his friend shall hear one day, and he believes that. He took his belongings and followed Okechukwu. Outside the house, Okechukwu thanked him for being a good friend. He told him he heard all that his mother had advised him to do. He also confessed to him when he started hearing. Emenike was very happy upon hearing this, and the two friends decided to keep this as a secret between them so that they can easily catch their enemies. They only told Grandma the truth.